this is TYT, the Young Turks. Matt Gaetz will join Cenk, Anna, and Nina during our midterm election live coverage. Tune in starting 8 p.m. Eastern. This is for tomorrow. Just off of this, Nick, let's list the name of the people here. Cenk, Anna, and Nina. All three of those people absolutely refuse to even speak to Jimmy Dore, but they're having Matt Gaetz on. And we're going to bring up a video of them talking about Matt Gaetz.
Hell, let's raise the stakes, CJ. All right, you guys have beef with Jimmy Dore. Okay. You guys won't even have RBN on. You guys won't have a conversation with black activists, but you're having a conversation with Matt Gaetz? So if you don't want to have Jimmy on because your personal beef, fine. But think about other people they refuse to platform, and they refuse to have a conversation with, but they'll have a conversation with this pedophile. So these same people, this same wing, are the people who had a meltdown when Jimmy Dore had an interview with a Boogaloo Boy. But they can talk to someone who literally has institutional power that's implementing white supremacy. No principles. No, that what no principle looks like, guys. Because I'm consistent. I didn't fucking give a fuck that Jimmy interviewed Boogaloo Boy. I don't really care what independent media chooses to who people choose to talk to. But if you're gonna be consistent, if you're one of the people who had a meltdown because Jimmy interviewed a Boogaloo Boy, but you're cool with TYT having someone who quite literally has power, no matter what you feel about the Boogaloo Boys, you can always say, "Oh, well, these are some assholes who don't have power." Matt Gaetz literally have power and literally doing negative stuff with that power.
Right.
But it's okay for you guys to wind and down with them. But if we march with someone for healthcare, we're red, brown lines. Isn't that
who's a Trump supporter?
Yes.
So another worker who's barely making it, who's making ends meet, working 60 hours. If we team up with them to do anything, that's Red Brown Alliance. But you bring on Matt Gaetz, and you best believe he ain't asking them anything about no sexual attraction. You best believe he is not touching that. You best believe he's gonna be nice and all this other stuff. Do this. Play the interview he had with Breonna Joy Gray, and then play the interview he's gonna have with Matt Gaetz, and you tell me what the difference looks like to you. It's to me, it's absurd, and it confirms how unserious TYT and Cenk is. But this tweet here, so here's Matt Gaetz, and I guess he's sort of acknowledging people don't like this. Some people don't like this.
See, so Anna has me blocked, so I didn't see any of her responses to this, and in the TYT have me blocked, so I can't even see anything regarding the main tweet at all.
So you just now seeing this.
I didn't talk about Anna no more. So I'll let you cover it, but I'm not seeing this for the first time because I can't see any of the TYT content on Twitter. No Morales, what do you think is going to happen? He's going to come on. We're going to hypnotize everyone. But this is the same. You guys literally attacked anyone else for platforming someone on the right.
And that's my critique. Jesus, like they can have him on. Yeah. And I wouldn't say that, but we're trying to point out the hypocrisy.
Yeah.
Is the point of this segment, is that we're pointing out the hypocrisy that you have the audacity to bring on Matt Gaetz. But but people like Jimmy Dore, activists like RBN, that's a problem. Because we're mingling with right-wingers. Who are you hanging out with? So let me read Anna's tweet, but let's go to what is she responding to here. So this is the original or one of the announcements. I'm not going to say original. It says Matt Gaetz will join Cenk, and I read that to you, and it has a little picture. It's the same graphic we actually use for ours. But then it says, this person is a blue check. I don't know who. Oh, actually, yeah, it's a Bernie person. It says author, activist, former Bernie surrogate, Jonathan Tassini. So maybe they were famous. So, and then another blue check. So maybe Anna's only replying because these are blue checks who are chiming in. So come on, y'all have lost your mind. Grifters, a blue check, and it's a Bernie Sanders surrogate. That's a problem for her, for them. Exactly. No morals. Another blue check.
So these are the people Anna responded to. So that's why I can't see nothing.
Right.
So that's why she responded. She's like, oh no, the establishment don't like. She don't care what the peasants think.
Yeah.
Right. I don't give a fuck. But if the blue checks, if the establishment start calling me a grifter, oh shit.
Now let's go to her reply now, and you'll see Matt Gaetz. So Matt Gaetz is quote tweeting her reply to those blue checks, and her reply was, "No morals. What do you think is going to happen? He's going to come on, and we're going to hypnotize everyone watching to join Patriot Front. He's a member of Congress. We get to ask him whatever we want. Grow up." Now, Nick, you tell me how this is not the same exact response that we give when they say Boogaloo Boys. Oh, he went on Matt. Oh, he went on Tucker Carlson. Oh, he went on this. Isn't this the same response?
I saw people melting
down. We say, what do you think is gonna happen?
Yes.
He's just going on there to have conversations. You think he's gonna trick him into something else? Like he's like, what is the problem? He has a big platform. If we're talking about Tucker Carlson, for example, but he's a member of Congress, and we can ask him anything. So I just don't understand. We're pointing out the hypocrisy. Why is this okay, and why isn't the other okay?
Dude, I still remember there was people on the TYT left. And if you're on Twitter, we all know them. There were people on the TYT left that was upset with me because I had a debate with Jackson Hinkle where I disagreed with him about MAGA communism. And they were like, "Oh my God, you're gonna grow Jackson Hinkle influence," even though his channel way bigger than us, so that don't make sense on face value. So they're like, "Oh, you were legitimizing his beliefs." Meanwhile, on the same end, they would do this. They'll form coalitions with right-wing politicians. They'll vote for a right-wing party. The only thing I'm asking for is consistency. As people mentioned before, I didn't give a fuck that Jimmy interviewed a Boogaloo Boy. I didn't even know. Me and CJ don't barely know anything about the Boogaloo Boy. I don't care.
I didn't know anything about it
on their individual YouTube channels. That's not something that impacts my life, right? But if you are going to take that position, at least have some consistencies, right? But go ahead, CJ.
Yeah. So what I want to do now is just show Cenk's tweet, and then I'm going to play a video of what you hear them talking about Matt Gaetz. So let's answer. So let's go to this. I want to go to a couple of Cenk tweets because of course this started something. So let's read this one. This is a more recent one, and then we'll go to a couple of older ones. So let's go to the original. I always want to tell you the whole story. So on Monday's episode of Conversation, I will interview Larry Elder. And if you don't know, Larry Elder is the person who ran against Gavin Newsom, the Republican person who could have won, and he is terrible. He is coon to the fifth power. Terrible. Larry Elder. Everybody hurry up and make assumptions. So after he interviewed Matt Gaetz and Larry Elders, is he bringing on the Uhuru socialists? Is he gonna bring on like the latest like communist chapter? Is socialist alternative coming on? But make assumptions. Don't forget to yell at me about talking to people we don't agree with. This motherfucker got the audacity to say that, Nick. Talking to people we don't agree with. Now, so this guy replies to that, and he says, "Are you guys giving Gaetz a platform?" The fuck? Sorry, I'll go back. "Are you guys giving Gaetz a platform, or was that some D-State fake tweet I saw?" So he replies to this. It's the only quote tweet, so let's just go to that. "No, you saw right. We are just handing over entire platforms to Matt Gaetz, and when we're interviewing him, we will be able to speak. And from then on, he will mind control our entire audience. Oh, sorry, I thought I was a TYT critic on Twitter for a second time." Come on, go ahead, Nick.
So based on this logic, Cenk, why not have a debate with Glenn Greenwald or Jimmy Dore on your show? Because he was asked that by Brown Joy Gray. And his response was, "Oh, I'm not gonna have a conversation with Jimmy Dore or Glenn Greenwald because I fundamentally don't believe these people believe what they say. I don't believe they're legitimate. But you believe that Matt Gaetz and Larry Elder?
Come on, Larry Elder.
Like, are we
some of the
serious?
stuff.
Are we serious right now? So that shows the cowardice. So whenever he says that, because we all know, and Matt Gaetz, any politician, I know Matt Gaetz, I see her speak, they do full shit. Like, he's not even worth covering to me. He's not even worth covering. Literally a waste of time, because I know
he's
just
like
Martin Taylor Greene. I don't cover Martin Taylor Greene that much either, because I know it's a waste of time. These people are not serious. They probably the least serious people in politics. Like Matt Gaetz and Martin Taylor Greene is literally like the squad of the Republican Party. They are very unserious. They say whatever is the most controversial, whatever given the most fundraising, that is their gimmick. So if you're gonna pick anyone in the Republican Party to talk to, Matt Gaetz, you mean the fucking pedophile? So I don't believe you when you say you don't want to debate Glenn Greenwald because you don't think he's serious. There's no one that could rationally say that Matt Gaetz is more serious and steadfast in his beliefs than Glenn Greenwald. How can anyone make that argument?
Yeah, so what I want to show you now is a snippet of a conversation that Cenk is having with John on the TYT and also Nina.
I have other issues.
And it happens to be about Matt Gaetz when the trial was going on. So let's listen how they talk about Matt Gaetz. This is about 3 minutes we're going to listen to. Let's listen to how 3 minutes on this, and then there's another video that's about 2 minutes. The stuff they're saying about him, just let's listen, Nick. Where am I? This is it right here. I think I queued it up to the right spot, so let's listen.
Issues that I'm going to express. I want to give the panel a chance to weigh in. What do you think about the fact that at this point it looks like there will not be charges? There still could be, but it looks like there will not be.
Yeah, I don't think there's going to be. Okay.
So they're saying that it looks like there's not going to be sex trafficking charges for Matt Gaetz. So that's the context of the video.
Okay, so look, I think that it cuts in both directions, and we got to be fair and honest about all of this, right? So number one, John's absolutely right. Somebody not pressing charges doesn't mean that that person is quote unquote innocent. For example, Michael Cohen went to jail for paying hush money. His co-conspirator was Donald Trump. Well, they both definitely did it. There's no question about it. It's just that Trump didn't go to jail and wasn't charged, and Michael Cohen was. And it's actually a very similar case. And why? Because one of them is a politician and among the elites, and prosecutors get scared. They're really, really scared of people in the elites. Oh, what if we lose? And what are they scared of? Oh, are they going to get sent to a gulag? No. They're just scared because they're obsessed with their reputations. But ironically here, they blew it because, and I saw this from CNN, so credit where credit is due. It's Ellie or Eli Honig, their legal expert. He made a really good point. And he said, well, they already gave Joel Greenberg, the main co-conspirator in this case, a deal to testify against Gaetz. And now they're saying they're not going to press charges on Gaetz because Greenberg is just not reliable enough as a witness. Then what the hell did you give him a deal for? I mean, he confessed to tons of crimes and got a much reduced sentence. I mean, that is an absolute fail on the prosecutor's part because you can't have it both ways. I mean, obviously you shouldn't have given the guy a deal if you're not going to use his testimony. It is horrible, horrible planning. But I will add, guys, he didn't get, whether we like it or not, he didn't get charged with it and he didn't get prosecuted for it. I'm honestly, from my point of view, and I only speak for myself, I'm not saying that I'm never going to mention that again, but I'm going to talk about it a lot less because.
So that answers all of your questions to, is he going to talk about the sex trafficking thing when Matt Gaetz is on his show tomorrow? He just gave you the answer to that he's not bringing that shit up. Isn't that what he said? He just said, I'm not going to do that.
I mention that again, but I'm going to talk about it a lot less because unfortunately it didn't get proven in a court of law and that does matter.
Yeah. So before Nina speaks, like I said, he just said the sex trafficking thing he's not bringing up tomorrow when Matt Gaetz is on the show. So you just heard him. But let's listen to Nina Turner speak about Matt Gaetz.
It definitely is what you can prove. I mean, that's what a court of law is all about. I want to go even before we even got to an investigation stage, which is, why would this man take a 17-year-old anywhere? Can we just start at the genesis? He should not be, taking a 17-year-old anywhere. That is the main, wouldn't even be caught up in this mess had he not taken the 17-year-old somewhere without, her parents or a chaperone. Doesn't make sense. So that doesn't add up to me. For me, that is the main problem. Wouldn't even be here but for that.
Yeah, 100%. And, we won't get more details, it's looking like, on any of the early information.
Now, I'm going to fast forward because there's a lot of damning things in here, but we got a lot of other stories to cover, so I don't want to play the whole thing. But there's a lot of damning comments they make about Matt Gaetz in this video. So I'm really just very curious to see how they're even going to interact with him. Like some of the stuff they say in here, it looks like I'm going to have to restart my video. But some of the stuff they say in this video, Nick, and I'll take it down while I restart it. Some of the stuff they say in this video is just some crazy stuff they say about Matt Gaetz, but now they're just going to come and bring him in, or we're just going to talk about the election. And think about it. They are bringing this guy in, Nick, after they're pushing, democracy, election deniers. Who do you think Matt Gaetz is? In the video, John, the other guy, a TYT host, he says, oh yeah, if Matt Gaetz would definitely be down for another coup attempt. But that guy is coming on to give commentary on your election night where the Republicans are gonna win. So you have Matt Gaetz, by your definition, January 6th at least supporter, coming on your show to give commentary on election night when you're telling people democracy is in trouble. I just find it very ironic, Nick. I find it very ironic and very just like I couldn't write this if I was trying to write my own movie. I couldn't write this script myself. Go ahead, Nick.
Maybe they're gonna get chummy and talk about some things they agree with, like on criminal justice. Because I don't know if you guys saw this. Why you prepared the video?
Yeah, go ahead.
I want to show you guys this. Because this is probably why Jenkins is reaching out to people like Matt Gaetz, and you see a lot of these pro-police state people. They're like, "Oh my God, TYT is finally getting it right." So once again, Cenk Uygur and TYT, they will call Glenn, they will call Jimmy, they will call anyone that disagree with the strategy of supporting the Democratic Party. They will call them right-wingers. Meanwhile, their stances on foreign policy, on Ukraine, on criminal justice is literally in alignment with the right wing. Like when you look at their criminal justice ideology, it's the same as Steve Bannon. This is an article written by Anna Kasparian, the greatest Karen I've ever seen, the Karen of the left. And Newsweek gives you a platform. Imagine as a leftist, if you're watching this, imagine anyone on RBN, Newsweek's like, you get to write one article in Newsweek. Think about all the things you can raise awareness on. But Anna is given an article in Newsweek, and you want to know what she spends that time on? Does she spend it raising awareness on the Palestinians? On the kids in cages, the border crisis, because of neoliberal imperialism politics? Are they covering the lies of the mainstream media? Nope. She gets a Newsweek article, and she repeats right-wing fear-mongering on crime. So Matt Gaetz and TYT is closer on the Overton window than you guys would think. Much closer. That's why they can chum around and be pals. And look at this. She cried just like a right-winger. You can find this same article in New York Post and Fox News. posting crime reports, and this is I'll skimming this, and this is ridiculous. Anna, like, oh my God, crime is higher than it's ever been in 25 years, 30% spike. Look at all these bullshit numbers. Hey, Anna, this is despite record amount of police funding. So what are you saying? This is despite neoliberal policies. The Democratic Party, after the defund the police movement, spit in our faces, gave us the middle finger, and every single Democratic mayor gave the police more money. The police got our COVID relief funds, and they are not stopping the murder rate from going up. What does that tell you, Anna? This article is trash, by the way. And Cenk happily tweets it out. And anyone call on, this is what I said. And this is another point I want to bring up. They literally had a conversation with Olayemi. They had a debate with Olayemi. Olayemi debunked all their bullshit on criminal justice. And they framed it as, we heard our critics from the left. We heard you guys, and we want to have a learning. We want to have a conversation. They have Olayemi on. Olayemi completely destroys them. And just like Democracy Now!, and this is what we spent on our last stream, they don't retain any of the knowledge. So everything that Olayemi did when Olayemi explained what crime is and explained how police manipulate crime stats, Olayemi took them to church. And then after that conversation, she writes this piece in Newsweek. Are you guys telling me that Olayemi was not persuasive if they really went in there with a good faith disagreement? That shows that they did not. They heard.
It was a dog and pony show. It was a dog and pony show, and they just wanted to go through the motions to prove that we care, so that we can keep our left bravado, our left validation, and that's the entire reason they did that. It's to me, Nick, it's getting more and more transparent. Where more and more people, we see it every day. Man, I'm glad I found y'all. I don't listen to that shit no more. Every time we bring up a particular channel, I don't listen to that shit because I'm glad I found you guys. They just can't. I don't see how it's hard. It would be hard for you to watch this and be into it and watch TYT and be into it. Like that's a hard thing to do. Now, I did cue it up to some of the things that John says about him, because I just want to play this last part and then we're going to move on to the next story. So let's listen to John talk about him some more. Now, this is the guy they're bringing on tomorrow.
So long as it's not about a particular actual predator. They don't care about that. They were like a little bit interested in Epstein, but they don't want to think about who he actually hanged out with. Ghislaine Maxwell, you could wish her well, doesn't matter. That's not suspicious. With Matt Gaetz, I mean, come on. Like if there was a Democratic congressman who was even alleged to have done this sort of thing, they'd be losing their minds. But the actual...
Think about how he's describing Matt Gaetz. Think about who he's comparing Matt Gaetz to, people like Jeffrey Epstein. That guy, this John is on your channel. How do they have room, Nick, to call out anybody for bringing anyone on their channel? What are you going to say? I mean, this is their own words. And throughout this whole video, we're not going to watch it, but throughout this whole video, Nina Turner too. Why are you taking out a 17-year-old? Multiple times is calling this nigga out. At a point in the video, Cenk says, oh yeah, I forgot he tried to get a fucking pardon. Matt Gaetz tried to get a fucking pardon. All of that is okay. Because that's okay. That's okay. We can have conversations with that person. But when we say, hey, let's meet up with some people who voted for Trump, but they're workers working paycheck to paycheck. Let's go unionize Amazon. Let's go try to get Medicare for all. That's the problem.